So you're the mastermind of SO number 4?
I endorsed that to the sugar
Yeah,
board.
you
Mr.
were the
Chair.
one who drafted
Yes.
SO number 4.
Yes,
Sumakatwid,
Mr. Chair.
ikaw ang mastermind. Anyway, before you drafted this sugar order number 4, you never consulted any stakeholders, am I right?
We did, Mr. Chair.
How long?
On
And when did you talk with the stakeholders concerned, and who among the stakeholders concerned did you discuss SO number 4?
We met via online, Your Honor, and these are the following stakeholders that were in attendance, and they also wrote the recommendations by way of a written recommendation. Number 1, CONFED.
When was this?
This was conducted online, Mr. Chair.
When?
July 29.
July 29.
Yes.
Okay.
CONFED sent a letter signed by Mr. Raymond Montinola. National Federation of Sugarcane Planters, signed by its president, Enrique Rojas. PANAIFED, signed by its president, Danilo
Wait,
Abilita.
how many stakeholders are there in the sugar industry?
There are 5 federations, Mr. Chair, 2 millers and 1 refiner.
How many consult?
Almost all of them, Mr. Chair. Yes.
Mr. Chair, if we may, later after the good gentleman speaks on that, we ask also the stakeholders online. I saw UNIFED head Lamata, and also that it can be clarified.
Yes,
It's not coming only from the
Yes,
voice of the
yes.
gentleman.
If they're virtually present.
Maybe we can ask them if they were consulted.
The gentleman can finish his question.
Okay. Can we ask him first if he was consulted?
Mr. Lamata, can you hear us, sir? You are
Good
muted.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. The question of Senator Estrada is that were you consulted as alleged by the administrator here?
Good afternoon, Senator Tolentino. We were made to believe po that the President ordered the importation of 300, they wanted our importation of 300,000 metric tons because it was a national emergency. So we signed because who are we to question the wisdom of the President? But we signed all refined. What happened po when SO4 was made, half was raw or brown, half was refined. We never signed for that, Your Honors. We can never allow brown sugar to be imported because Negros is already milling. If that comes down to Negros, patay ang mga planters namin po. Bagsak ang presyo. We will never allow that. At yung SO4, ang SO4 po, daming anomaly. Yung isa po, if I may get my notes.
Before you proceed, Mr. Lamata, the Senate President or Senator Estrada would like
So
to...
they were made to believe that it was upon the instructions of the President.
That is correct po. That SO3 and SO4 both. We were made to believe that the President wanted the importation.
But there was no real shortage of sugar. Am I correct?
Eh yun na nga po, ito siya, si Mr. Serafica, wakwak na wala na daw asukal, wala naman siya nagpa-survey. Ilang beses na po, I wrote him 4 or 5 times. You make a national survey. That is the job of the SRA,
Okay.
which was done in past administrations. How can he have a justification of
Mr.
numbers?
Lamata, can you please refrain
thank
from
you,
continuing?
Mr.
You're in a committee hearing. You refrain from using language that will offend the senses of this committee, wak-wak, etc., etc. Say it in a direct Webster English, Mr. Lamata. What do you mean by wak-wak?
Pasensya na po, pasensya na po.
Go ahead, but we understand you.
Thank you po. Mr. Serafica has been giving us numbers when he has never made a survey of any mill or any bodega. In the past administrations po, kagalang senators, SRA used to make 3 surveys in 1 year. before the start of milling, middle of milling, and after milling. Then you can make an exact data how much is required by the country and the consumption to import or not to import. Ito siya po, never has he made a survey. So how can he say and justify that there is a shortage? When you go po to the palengkes, there is sugar. Yun lang, sobrang mahal. And we do not agree with that price neither because all our sugars po is being bought by the traders from us at Millgate at 40 pesos po per kilo. And we do not agree to be that the sugar is being sold in the palengkes at 100. Sobra-sobra na yan po.
Thank you, Mr. Lamata. Mr. Serafica, before you drafted this SO number 4, you never inspected any warehouses, you never surveyed any warehouses of sugar?
That is a regular activity of the Regulations Department to monitor movements of sugar, Mr. Chair. And I would like to request the committee to answer on the survey being undertaken by the SRA. Deputy Administrator Tihida is here to make this clear to the community, to the committee, because there are internal procedure of SRA, Mr. Chair.
Well, wait, okay. According to the Senate President, you did this in haste, okay? Why can't you wait for the approval of the President, who is concurrently the Acting Secretary of the Department of Agriculture?
Your Honor, it was not done in haste. It was submitted to the board for referendum, and I voted first.
So you are refuting the statements made by the Senate President?
I am just stating facts, Your Honor. That was what happened. After me, former board member Beltran manifested his vote. And the following day, former board member Valderrama casted his vote as well.
May I just make a really quick manifestation? I had the chance to speak with former board member Beltran, and he was told me, because he's from Bukidnon, and he told me, Sen Migs, I was made to believe that the president insisted on this importation. Same as the sugar federations. Somebody's mouthing out saying that it is the president who wants this. But
That was
it's
the
not
reason
true.
they signed they signed this. No. Am I correct? Because they were made to believe that it was the instruction by the president himself. But anyway, we have received information that you have already sold or allotted to some notorious applicants a sugar allocation even before the issuance of SO number 4. How true is this?
That's not true, Your Honor.
Are you sure?
That's not true.
How long have
I
you
will
been,
swear to that.
How long have you been working with the SRA?
I was appointed by former President Duterte as board member way
When?
back 2016. And when the administratorship's office was vacated by the former administrator, I was appointed on September 2017 as administrator by former President Duterte.
Okay. My last question. Is your authority given by the board to convert Class C sugar to Class B sugar been approved by the President as the DA Secretary?
Sorry, again, your question, Mr.
Is your authority given by the board to convert Class C sugar to Class B sugar has been approved by the President or as the current Secretary of the Department of Agriculture?
It was approved through the referendum, Your Honor.
But by the President or by the Secretary of the DA?
It was signed by the three of us.
I am asking you, the President, did he give you authority?
The President does not give me authority, Your Honor.
Or has it been approved by the President?
It is the majority of the members of the board that cast their vote.
As the DA Secretary, has it been approved by the President?
Is that question directed to me, Mr.
That's
Chair? Or
directed to you. Ang tanong ni Senator Estrada, the President being the concurrent DA Secretary.
Undersecretary Sebastian signed for that approval, Mr. Chair.
Ang tinatanong ko po kung ang presidente bilang kalihim ng Department of Agriculture, kung inaprubahan ba niya yung pag-convert ng Class C sugar to Class B sugar.
Napirmahan po ni Yusek Sebastian. So I would assume aprobado po yun ni Presidente.
Ang tanong po ni Senator Estrada ganito, yung pagbibigay sa inyo ng kapangyarihan to act as the SRA board itself, you solely would be violative of Republic Act 10659, the SIDA law of 2015, and glaringly Section 4 of Executive Order number 18, referring to the corporate powers of the board. Because you cannot function as the entire board. You are just the administrator of the SRA. Yun siguro yung tinatanong ni Senator Estrada. Has this been validated through an action coming from the current DA Secretary? So wala. Wala po yun. Kahit anong pa ligoy-ligoy natin, wala po yun.
First of all, ako, sabihin ko lang sa iyo, I have no doubt about you. Alam kong nag-research muna ako about you, and I found out na you have a very good track record, service track record. But since you are involved in this fiasco, you have to answer my questions. Is it all right with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, based doon sa sinabi kanina ni Executive Secretary, lahat ng text mo sa kanya regarding na nagpapalo up ka about this yung sugar order number 4 ay wala siyang sagot sa mga text mo. Is that true?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. So wala siyang sagot. Now, sinabi niya na ang sagot mo daw sa kanya at saka si Serafica ay akala ninyo na okay na kay Presidente. Is it true?
That's correct, Your Honor.
That's correct. Ilang taon ka na bang yusik dyan sa agriculture, Sir Sebastian?
March to the present, Your Honor.
So bago lang.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, alam mo, sa amin, no, sa pulis at sa military, maraming namamatay sa maling akala. Pag nag-assume ka nag-assume, ay talagang lives are at stake. Pwedeng mamamatay ka sa gira pag nag-assume ka na nag-assume. So, alam niyo yung ginawa niyong assumption is parang ako, kung ako ordinaryong tao, I cannot accept that reason na sabi niyo, napirmahan mo yung sugar order number 4 in behalf of the President or for and in behalf of the President being the Secretary of Agriculture, napirmahan mo yan dahil sa maling akala. Parang hindi ko matanggap-tanggap yung rason na yan. Meron pa bang mas malaking rason dyan? Aside sa maling akala. People are wondering, people are speculating na meron pang mas mabigat na rason siguro yan. Bakit mo pinirmahan? Hindi lang sa maling akala. Ako, I don't buy that justification. Forgive me for my frankness. Maling akala. I will not buy that explanation. Please give me more satisfying explanation.
Senator Cayetano is recognized for his 5-minute
Thank you.
questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And we will give up our reservation of the plenary next week so that you can continue there, given the interest on this issue. And given it's so important, I hope Yusek Sebastian and Administrator Serafica realizes hindi to simpleng bagay lang eh. I mean, hindi lang yung industriya ang nayugyug dito, no? Ang consumers natin, buong Pilipinas, no? Hirap na sa COVID, hirap na sa pagtaas ng presyo, tapos nabulaga dito sa asukal. So, first question lang, kasi I want to pursue the point na there seems to be a recurring theme that someone or some people gave the impression that the president wants this. Meron po bang board member o USEC na Marites ang pangalan sa SRA?
Tess, anybody from SRA, USEC, Mr. Serafica?
May I have your question again, Your Honor?
Meron po bang board member o opisyalis na Marites sa inyo?
Sa SRA, I do not know anyone of Marites na member ng board.
Sa DA po, may USEC ba o ASEC na Marites?
None, Your Honor.
Bakit kumalat yung chismis na gusto to ng presidente? Sino ang Marites sa inyo? May we ask, Mr. President, I don't want to put the industry in hot water, no? But grabe na pinagdadaanan nila. Nasabi po nung presidente nila kanina, Mr. Chairman, na they were given the impression. Can I ask him lang, anong circumstance? When they were called, sinabi ba na gusto ni presidente to or what? Let's get to the bottom of that, because it's not only one or two people who have said here in this hearing na nagkakaroon ng impression na gusto ng presidente, kaya sumunod na lang yung iba.
Are you referring that question to Mr. Serafica or
Mr.
to Mr. Lamata?
Labata.
Mr. Lamata, are you still there? Virtually?
Yes po,
Sir,
Mr. Senator.
You heard the question? You can reply.
Yes po.
Sir, how did you get that impression, sir?
Well, we were told by SRA individuals, all our members, we were told that this is a national emergency because of the high prices on retail. The president therefore ordered that 300,000 metric tons should be imported to the country ASAP without further ado. And who are we to question the wisdom of the president? So we signed, and we send in our resolution that we are agreeable for 300,000 refined. What came out in the SO4, Mr. Senator, kakalahati, 150 raw, 150 refined. Yung raw po, it will come on November, and we are already milling. Patay yung industry yan, Mr. Senator. Sinong kikinabang dyan? 3 or 4 lang na may mga refineries. Sila lang po ang kikinabang dyan. Patay ang buong planters, and the consumers will still be problematic. So, mali yun.
So, sir, when you said people from SRA, this is more than one person, no?
Yes po. Kasi pinakalat nila sa lahat na these are orders of the president.
Yes.
So yun po, yung SO3 and SO4, the same. Orders of the president.
Do you recall one or two of the highest position who said the same thing? For example, sir, did Administrator Serafica, was he one of those o hindi po?
Yes po. Kasi he talks to his friendly federations. Nag-uusap-usap sila. Yung mga friendly federations po, may mga connection din sa amin mga federasyon. So yun, talk of the town na yan po.
Okay. So last question, sir.
Sa kanya.
So nung nakita nyo yung order number 4 at nakapirma for the president, it bolstered your, or it affirmed your, the talk, no, na gusto ng presidente to. Kasi it was signed for President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Tama po ba?
Tama po, sir. Tama po. But
Okay.
we were shocked to believe
Yes.
na illegal pala.
Yes. So going back, Administrator, have you been telling people na gusto ng presidente to?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I never said those. What we discussed during the stakeholders meeting were numbers, were data coming from the SRA.
Okay.
And the shortfall of
Yes.
the raw and refined sugar.
Sige po. That's
Thank
why
you.
I'm giving a chance to answer that. But if we go deeper, marami naman taong involved dito. As the Senate President said, isang SRA member mismo yun din ang sinabi, that he was given the impression, no? So before I go back to the signature, kanina po sir sabi nyo, kaya tinanggal yung performance bond para to lessen the burden on the consumers. How will it lessen the burden on the consumers? At hindi naman po ang consumers ang nagbabayad ng performance bond. Hindi naman po bababa ang presyo at hindi rin naman po babagal yung importation, hindi po ba?
Your Honor, siyempre ipapatong nila yon sa cost nila ng sugar nila pagdating ng puerto at saka siyempre
Sir, bakit nila ipapatong? Hindi naman po to expense. Pagka na-perform, makukuha nila pabalik, hindi po ba?
yes po.
So, kaya nga may SRA para sabihin din sa kanila kung anong pwede nilang ipatong at hindi po ba? Binabantayan nyo rin po yung presyo, hindi po ba? Is that correct?
We just monitor prices, Your Honor.
Yes, but part of monitoring, it is not a passive monitoring. No, it's like in the Bible when you say you wait on the Lord. You wait on Jesus. That's hupomeno. Diba? That's actively waiting for them. When you monitor, it's not just for the sake to say, oy, 80 pesos na pala, 90 pesos. It's also para mag-comment kayo kung unjustified yung taas ng presyo, hindi po ba?
Tama po,
So,
Your Honor.
meaning there is no reason to remove the performance bond because it should not have been added to the price anyway. Kung sasabihin nyo, sir, may tinanggal kayong tax, may tinanggal kayong fee, may tinanggal kayong, let's say, kailangan ilagay sa warehouse yan ng isang araw, di ba? Yung mga yan, mababawasan talaga presyo. Pero ang performance bond, pag tinanggal mo, wala dapat epekto sa presyo yan.
More often than not, in this case, that retail prices are already very high, Your Honor. We anticipate that the traders will really take advantage of the situation, Your Honor.
Well, let's leave it there, no? Because we can all give our reasons, but this is the first time I heard na ang performance bond would add a cost, no? So next, sir, ang sabi po sa inyo,
May
dinelegate
remind,
sa inyo ng
Senator
board.
Cayetano that
yes.
Senator Coco Pimentel
Sige
is
po. I'll
waiting
close with
likewise.
this.
And
I
we'll
apologize
have
to my
We'll have
colleague.
a plenary.
Sige po.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Sabi niyo po, kaya dinelegate sa inyo ang reclassification kasi kailangan mabilis kumilos. Tama po ba?
Tama po.
Okay. 3 araw lang naman kumilos yung board eh. So, gaano kabilis pa gusto nung board kumilos ka? 1 minuto? 5 minuto? Usually, dinedelegate yan, halimbawa, ng board of, ng isang kumpanya sa CEO, kung tingin nila, every quarter pa kasi magme-meeting ang board or every month yung board. That's why. But even then, they don't usually delegate it to the CEO. They delegate it to a executive committee. So, hindi ko po maintindihan bakit po ibibigay sa inyo kung mabilis naman ang board nyo.
Only on extremely urgent situation like in this case that we are in a shortage of sugar and very
Sir,
extremely high price.
Sir, wala na akong time, ha? So tatanungin ko lang, wala kayong Viber o WhatsApp?
The gentleman
have.
suspend.
So hindi kayo pwedeng may Viber group sa board pag urgent at i-approve pa rin ng board? So anyway, I'll leave it there, Mr. Chair, because nga we have 2 colleagues na nandito pa, but
Yes.
may also reserve some time later on, and we'll look deeper into it. My concern, Mr. Chair, is that we have hundreds of GOCCs, and they are watching this. And sa good practices nila, walang problema. Pero sa practices ng ganito, napakahirap po. Baka maubos oras natin sa kakaimbestiga. So thank you to the gentleman for answering the question.
Thank you, Senator Cayetano. Senator Cayetano just reminded me, Committee Secretary, that you have to invite likewise the Office of the Government Corporate Counsel for the next hearing.